Hey y'all, so I make this pretty much almost every morning. I won't say almost every morning. So like out of the 7 days a week, I probably make it like 3 or 4 because sometimes I just don't eat breakfast. But when I do eat breakfast, this is what I eat. And I've had a lot of people ask me how I make it, you know, what's the process, what do I put in it, this, that, and the fourth. So I'm gonna show you, okay? Hold on, it's hot. I gotta do it. Oh my God. Okay, it's just my little sweet potato hash, you know, with some eggs and sausage and stuff. You feel me? You can use turkey burgers, that and the fourth. But I'm gonna show you how I make it. So get in the kitchen, get the ingredients and the list, and come on. All right, y'all. So first thing, let's get you a medium sweet potato. I take the skin off my sweet potatoes until I can get like homegrown sweet potatoes. I'm gonna take the skin off of them because the store-bought ones, they be in everybody's hands and it's at no forth, and I just can't trust it that much. Okay, so I like to skin mine, you know, and then we're gonna cut it up. You're gonna cut it up into like, you know, I don't know, like little inch pieces. Don't cut them too small because when it cooks, you're going to add a little bit of water and you don't want them to turn into mush. Like they're going to get a little mushy, but you don't want them, like first you don't want them crunchy, first of all, but you also don't want them as you're mixing them to turn into mush. Okay. But anyway, like I said, cut them up. And I know this sounds crazy. Oh, first of all, shout out to my high school best friend, okay? Because she's the one who came and visited us a couple weeks ago and gave me this recipe. She made it for me a couple times while she was here, and it was freaking delicious. Fell in love with it. And it's easy for me not to have to share with the kids because they don't really like it. So anyway, I know this sounds crazy, but get you an onion. If you have like a medium-sized onion, use like, I don't know, like 2/3 of the onion. If you have a large onion, use half of the onion. Okay, you need a lot of onion to cook this recipe because it's going to help the sweet potatoes cook. And no, it doesn't make it taste like onions or whatever the case is. If you're new here, onions is flavor, garlic is flavor, your spice cabinet is flavor. Okay, speaking of spices, this is the only recipe that I will allow you to only use salt and pepper for. Okay, you can get fancy with it if you want to. Me, for my breakfast, I like to keep it simple and just use salt and pepper. So like I said, this is the only recipe that I will allow you to only get away with using salt and pepper. I love you, okay, but you do need to add more spices to your cabinet if you don't have any more. Okay, anyway, mix it up. You're going to cook it nice and well. Make sure that you're checking it ever so often so that it doesn't burn. Nobody won. It wasn't a race. Okay, it wasn't a race. I added some mushrooms to mine too, and I also added some a bell pepper. Okay, look in the description for the recipe specifically. It wasn't that much, but I had it at the house, and I was like, why not? You know, this is what I mean by like using the stuff that you have in the house to make food. You don't need to always go to the store and get new stuff to make a new recipe, honey. You can give and take. If you ain't got this, use that. If you ain't got that, use this. It's fine. But usually I would use like ground turkey for this recipe. I didn't have ground turkey. I had just regular breakfast sausage. That's fine too. Gives it a little more flavor, to be honest with you. Gives it a little sage, you know, a little savory and sweetness. It's fine. Put the sausage in there. You're going to cook that up. I like to lay mine flat first and then I'll flip it and break it up. I like to break it up in bigger pieces, not like small crumbles, because you don't want it to burn. Okay. I also had some kale. I had a handful of frozen kale that I was trying to get rid of, so toss that in as the recipe too. Normally I'll have fresh kale, but it was frozen today, no big deal. But yeah, toss that in there. That's also going to give some moisture to it while it's cooking so that it doesn't burn. Okay, once you think that's good, okay, you're going to take you some eggs and crack the eggs right on top. You can scramble them if you want to. I like to crack mine right on top because it's a recipe that you can make and walk away with. Okay, crack the eggs right on top, add you some more salt and pepper, and then put the lid on and walk away. Okay, put the lid on and walk away. You can come back in 5 or 10 minutes, depending on how you like your eggs. I don't necessarily like my eggs runny, but you do you. Some people do. I don't like my eggs runny, but come back in like 5 or 10 minutes, check your eggs, however you like them done, and then boom, you got breakfast. It's so good, and it's like high protein, you know, it's delicious. And like I had pickled, y'all saw me make pickled jalapeños and onions and garlic like last week or whatever the case is. I added them joints right on top. Mwah. And it also keeps the kids away too, because they'll see that and they'll be like, oh, it's so spicy. Yeah, you're right, it is spicy. Yum.